All right, so today in class we started reading the short story A Sound of Thunder. After you get done with the Z puzzle, there's just a quick little quiz for you to do, and that'll be it. So we're not going to read the whole thing, we're just going to read a section. It'll be good. You also have a link to this if you'd like to read along there. So, the sign on the wall seemed to Sound of Thunder by Ray Bradbury. The sign on the wall seemed to quaver under a film of sliding warm water. Eccles felt his eyelids blink over his stare, and the sign burned into this momentary darkness. Time Safari Incorporated. Safaris to any year in the past. You name the animal, we take you there. You shoot it. Warm phlegm gathered in Eccles' throat. He swallowed and pushed it down. The muscles around his mouth formed a smile as he put his hand slowly out upon the air. And then that hand waved a check for $10,000 to the man behind the desk. Does the safari guarantee I come back alive? We guarantee nothing, said the official, except the dinosaurs. He turned. This is Mr. Travis, your safari guide in the past. He'll tell you what and where to shoot. If he says no shooting, no shooting. If you disobey instructions, there's a stiff penalty of another $10,000, plus possible government action on your return. So he's going back in time here to hunt dinosaurs, is the premise. Eccles glanced around the vast office at a mass and tangle, snaking and humming of wires and steel boxes, at an aurora that flickered now orange, now silver, now blue. There was a sound like a gigantic bonfire burning all of time, all the years and all the parchment calendars, all the hours piled high and set aflame. A touch of the hand in this burning wood on the instant beautifully reversed itself. Eccles remembered the wording in the advertisement to the letter. Out of chars and ashes, out of dust and coals, like golden salamanders, the old years, the green years, might leap. Roses sweeten the air, white hair turn Irish black, wrinkles vanish. All, everything, fly back to seed, flee death, rush down to their beginnings, sunrise in western skies, and set in glorious east. Moons eat themselves opposite to the custom, all and everything cupping one another like Chinese boxes. Rabbits into hats, all and everything returning to the fresh death, the seed death, the green death, to the beginning of time, to the time before the beginning. A touch of a hand might do it, the merest touch of a hand. So if you look here, all of this imagery is showing us moving backwards. White hair turning to black, the opposite of what it normally would do. Wrinkles vanishing, everything going back into its seeds. Sun setting in the east and rising in the west, which is the opposite of what it normally does. So that's what this whole paragraph does, is showing the imagery of things moving in reverse. Unbelievable, Eccles breathed, the light of the machine on his thin face. A real time machine. He shook his head. Makes you think. If the election had gone badly yesterday, I might be here now running away from the results. Thank God Keith won. He'll make a fine president of the United States. Yes, said the man behind the desk, we're lucky. If Desher had gotten in, we'd have the worst kind of dictatorship. There's an anti-everything man for you. Militarist, antichrist, anti-human, anti-intellectual. People called us up, joking but not joking. Said if Desher became president, they wanted to go live in 1492. Of course, it's not our business to conduct escapes, but to form safaris. Anyway, Keith's president now. All you got to worry about is shooting my dinosaur, Eccles finished for him. A Tyrannosaurus Rex, the tyrant lizard, the most incredible monster in history. Sign this release. Anything happens to you, we're not responsible. Those dinosaurs are hungry. Eccles flushed angrily. Trying to scare me? Frankly, yes. We don't want anyone going who will panic at the first shot. 6 safari leaders were killed last year and a dozen hunters. We're here to give you the severest thrill a real hunter ever asked for, traveling you back 60 million years to bag the biggest game in all of time. Your personal check's still there. Tear it up. Mr. Eccles looked at the check. His fingers twitched. Good luck, said the man behind the desk. Mr. Travis, he's all yours. They moved silently across the room, taking their guns with them toward the machine, toward the silver metal and the roaring light. First a day, then a night, then a day, then a night. Then it was day, night, day, night. A week, a month, a year, a decade. 80 20 55. So that's when our story is taking place. 80 20 19, 1999, 1957. Gone. The machine roared. They put on their oxygen helmets and tested the intercoms. Eccles swayed on the padded seat, his face pale, his jaw stiff. He felt the trembling in his arms, and he looked down and found his hands tight on the new rifle. They were there. There were four other men in the machine: Travis, the safari leader, his assistant, Lesperance, and two other hunters, Billings and Kramer. They sat looking at each other, and the years blazed around them. Can these guns get a dinosaur cold? Eccles felt his mouth saying. If you hit them right, said Travis on the helmet radio. Some dinosaurs have two brains, one in the head, another far down in the spinal column. We stay away from those. That's stretching them up. Put your first two shots into the eyes, if you can, blind them, and go back into the brain. The machine howled. Time was a film run backward. Suns fled and 10 million moons fled after them. Think, said Eccles. Every hunter that ever lived would envy us today. This makes Africa seem like Illinois. The machine slowed. Its scream fell to a murmur. The machine stopped. The sun stopped in the sky. The fog that had enveloped the machine blew away, and they were in an old time, a very old time indeed. Three hunters and two safari heads with their blue metal guns across their knees. Christ isn't born yet, said Travis. Moses has not gone to the mountains to talk with God. The pyramids are still in the earth, waiting to be cut out, and put up. Remember that. Alexander, Caesar, Napoleon, Hitler, none of them exist. The man nodded. That, Mr. Travis pointed, is the jungle of 60,002,055 years before President Keating. He indicated a metal path that struck off into green wilderness, over streaming swamp, among giant ferns and palms. And that, he said, is the path laid by Time Safari for your use. Now we got to think about this path a little bit. We'll see why in a second. It floats 6 inches above the earth. Doesn't touch so much as one grass blade, flower, or tree. It's anti-gravity metal. Its purpose is to keep you from touching this world of the past in any way. Stay on the path. Don't go off it. I repeat, don't go off for any reason. If you fall off, there's a penalty. And don't shoot any animal we don't okay. All right, so think about this. Why would it be that it's such a big deal that they cannot get off the path? We're going to find out in a second. But think about that. It is nothing can be touched. Why? Why is that such a big deal? Why can't they shoot any animal that they don't okay? There's a reason for this stuff. We're going to find out in a second. Why? Asked Eccles. They sat in the ancient wilderness. Far birds' cries blew on a wind, and the smell of tar and old salt sea, moist grasses and flowers the color of blood. We don't want to change the future. We don't belong here in the past. The government doesn't like us here. We have to pay big graft, or big fee to keep our franchise. A time machine is finicky business. Not knowing it, we might kill an important animal, a small bird, a roach, a flower even, thus destroying an important link in a growing species. That's not clear, said Eccles. All right, Travis continued. Say we accidentally kill one mouse here. That means all future families of this one particular mouse are destroyed, right? Right? And all the families of that one mouse. With one stamp of your foot, you annihilate first one, then a dozen, then 1,000, then 1,000,000, and 1,000,000,000 possible mice. So they're dead, said Eccles. So what? All right, we are going to start on this next part tomorrow. That's all we're going to read for today. So you can stop here and go and answer those questions on Google Classroom. Let me know if you have questions. Other than that, I'll talk to you tomorrow.